Well, it's a new day, and actually, one of the local ranches reached out to me and they sent me this picture of this truck right here. And they said that I was going to need one after a little while because they have seen the current situation of our Ford Highboy here. So, this is a 1973 Ford Highboy. And honestly, for what I'm going to be hauling around, as long as the equipment gets bigger, I don't think I'm going to be able to like tote it around on this trailer here anymore. I do got the skid steer still sitting on here. I probably should get that hooked up and get it off of there, but for right now, let's get the wagon kind of put away. I think that's what I was going to be trying to do the other day, but I kind of got sidetracked and got really tired and went to sleep. Now these wagons are kind of a pain to back up, so let's see if I can kind of get it on the first try here. Let's go get it hooked over, and nope, that's try number one. Number two, all right, third time's the charm. We got it all put in there. Looks good. And I got myself in the pickup. We are going to head over to the cattle barn. We're going to get the cattle fed this morning before we get anything else taken care of. I am going to get a look at that pickup. I'm probably going to hook my trailer up, head over there, take a look at it. Hopefully it's not in too bad a shape. They said they were going to sell it for $5,000, which I think is a pretty fair deal, but hopefully it's not in too bad a shape. Based on the pictures they showed me, it does look pretty rough, but for now, beggars can't be choosers, I guess, and I think we are going to have to fix some things up on it. And now that I got the cattle fed, let's get ourselves backed up to the gooseneck trailer here real quick, nice and slow. Hopefully, oh, that's a tailgate right there. And now that we got the ramps folded down, we're going to get the ratchet straps off of the skid steer here. And we are going to get it off the trailer so that way I have room to possibly fit that pickup on if we do buy it. Now that that's all done, let's get heading to the ranch. Alright, so we're just getting ready to roll up here, and there it is. Looks like a second gen Dodge. I mean, I guess we could have put all that together based on the pictures we got. But this thing is looking in really rough shape. Like, the pictures did not do exactly too much justice. I didn't get a look at it too much. Let's get this hood put up here real quick. Kind of hop up here and look inside the engine bay. So the radiator and the intercooler are smashed into the water pump on this engine. This is a 12 valve. So this is a pre-1998, or I guess an early 1998 and before second gen. And I think that water pump might be cracked, and so that block is probably ruined, so that's not too good. The hood is pretty messed up as well, and also the bumper. But it does look like there is a newer engine and a new hood in the back of this pickup. And for some reason we have an off-colored tailgate, but I guess it gives it a character. So I guess it looks okay. I guess we could probably go inside, and I'm going to go talk with the owner of the farm or owner of the ranch here and see if they can cut me a little deal on the pickup, because there is a lot of work that we do need to get taken care of on it. So $4,000 later, talk them down $1,000, and now we have ourselves a junked up second gen Dodge. And I almost got hit by a car. Holy crap. Let's get this thing loaded up. I'm going to get the trailer turned around. Hopefully they got some equipment here, because I don't know. I don't think this thing's going to run up onto the trailer, but we should be able to get backed up here. Maybe use a skid steer or something like that, get it all loaded up. And now that the pickup is all loaded up, let's get heading back to the farm. And now that we're back, let's just go ahead and I'm going to get this trailer pulled up around right here, just so that way we have everything out of the way, so that way I'm not really getting in the way of things. And then once this is all taken care of, I am going to start getting some equipment moved around and getting ready for winter to come. So it is November, it's 12/39 right now, and now after my recent $4,000 purchase on this pickup, we have $24,379 in the bank account. But the first order of business is going to be getting the Minneapolis Moline with the Ford chisel plow or tiller over to the other farm, and I need to get those fields all disced up over there. The ones that we went through and got plowed the other day, I don't want the field to be rough, and especially with wintertime coming, I don't want to leave big clods around in the field, so I need to get those cleaned up first. So I arrived at my new farm, got the plow unfolded, and got in the field and immediately started getting to work. And with the Minneapolis Moline struggling to get up the first hill on my very first pass of the headlands, I knew for sure that this was going to be a very long day. But after a little while, things started working good, and we started getting some dirt worked. And before too long, we were finishing up the last pass on the field. And we began to exit the field, get the cultivator all folded up, so that way we could get it stored away for the winter. And once I got a few things moved around, I found a good home for the cultivator. And once I got that detached, it was time to head back to the farm to gather the rest of my equipment up. So after a little while of bouncing back and forth between this farm and my other farm, I got the combine over here, the truck was already here, and that was all we really needed to do. And then I went back and I hooked up the gravity wagons to the Minneapolis Moline. So we're going to get these things pulled around here and put inside the barn. And let's see if we can find a good home for this tractor. There's one tractor put away. Now let's find a home for the 1206. There's two. And I think for the combine, we should just be able to put this thing kind of off here on the side and hopefully have enough room to get that truck in. And last but certainly not least, it was time to get the grain truck put inside the shed, and right here was about as good a spot as we can get. So there we go. All of our equipment that we really need to get out of the weather is inside of our nice little shed. Let's go ahead, and I do need to get these windows all shut up real quick. Let's hop up here. Now that those are all shut up, so we're kind of getting all this stuff out of the weather for whenever winter comes. I know it's going to be a pretty harsh winter. I haven't seen one out here yet, but from what I've been told, it is pretty rough out here during the winter time. So getting all of our equipment out of the open sheds and put inside of a closed shed is going to be our best bet to make sure that they survive the winter time. Now, I wasn't really thinking about how I was going to get back to the farm, so I guess I probably got a long walk ahead of me. And just because I'm going to get the New Holland square baler parked right in front of the Gale baler, just kind of like this. And I am going to leave all this equipment here at this site because it is going to have a use here. So whenever winter comes, I'll get a bucket put on this, on the 886. So that way we can get some snow cleared around. So that way we can get to the cattle shed. So that way I have nothing else to worry about. And if worse comes to worse, we still have the Bobcat that I've been borrowing from Jim. He hasn't asked for it back, so I think I'm going to hang on to it until he wants it back. Now, since we got most of the chores out of the way, I'm going to get taking the 2nd gen Dodge over to the other farm site. So that way I can start getting some work done on it. So now that the Cummins is offloaded and we got it inside this little carport here, let's kind of go through and see what we need to do. So in order to get the engine out, I do have the hood up, but I don't think that's enough room to be able to pull this engine out. So I do need to get this hood taken off, and I'll just probably honestly scrap it. It's not worth anything anymore. And then I'll go through, get the new hood on, but that's going to come after I get the new motor in. And honestly, I don't really care for these grandpa steps on here. These do not look that good, so we'll probably get those replaced, taken off, and everything like that. I need to find a new bumper. I'm not a big fan of this unmatched fender here, so we'll probably go into town, and I think I know a guy that has a replacement one for this. It might even be the same color. If not, I could just take this one off, and he might be able to get it painted for me. But I think in order to get the engine out and put the new one in, I need to go back into the farm, and I do need to get my skid steer. But let's get that skid steer and get everything taken care of. So with some assistance from the Bobcat, we were able to get the new engine hoisted up and put inside here. And I just got done connecting all the plugs that need to get connected. We got a new battery from in town, and the intercooler and the radiator is all set up, and everything looks good. So let's hop inside here real quick and see if we can get this thing to start. All right, there we go. New engine. The only thing I gotta do is go through into town, get a painted fender, get a new bumper for this truck as well. We kind of have a free hanging plow mount on here, so we gotta kind of get that all fixed up. But somehow, some way, we got it to start. Everything sounds good. Dang, this thing's just rolling cold as idling. We got a whole axle dump going on here. This is kind of nice. But we got the steps removed, got the new hood on. I think I kind of want to drive this into town. Let's get this hood shut. Yeah, there we go. And honestly, for $500, I got a brand new replacement bumper as well as a brand new fender. Well, I went and got it painted. It was the same fender, but I got it painted. But for $500, we got a ranch hand replacement bumper on here, so we can smoke whatever we want. We can smoke a tree, smoke a deer, something like that, and we won't have any damage going on with the Cummins. So I need to get these two swapped around here. I need to, well, honestly, I really don't want to sell this, but I might end up selling this pickup and see what happens later on. But we're going to get the Cummins placed over onto our trailer and try to get one last cutting of hay done before the end of the year, before the snow falls and we aren't able to get any hay done. So let's get the Ford parked away and get our new pickup backed up to our gooseneck trailer. Now that that's all hooked up, let's get heading to the farm. We'll get the 886 loaded up onto the trailer, as well as our New Holland hay bind, so that way we can get some hay cut. Now with this being the very last time or opportunity where I'm actually able to get some hay out before the frost comes over and actually everything freezes, with this actually being probably one of the last cuttings of hay I'll be ever able to get this year, because later on today we are supposed to get rain, as well as it is going to start to freeze here soon because it is November. December is knocking right around the corner and everything is going to freeze and we will no longer be able to get any hay. Now I am not going to make a humongous field out of here. I'm just going to go down in between, I guess, all the valleys and all that stuff, so that way we don't have to worry about going up too many hills with the tractor, and then we also don't have to worry about doing too much work for today because we already have done a lot. And so far we are making some pretty good time here. I guess the field's not too big. If I am able to get this field done before it does rain, this would be a record amount of time that we were able to get some hay done this year. I've not been very fast on getting hay done this year. It has taken us a couple of days actually to get more hay. Let's get turned around, get the hay bind put down, and this will be our last cut, and then we'll get ourselves hooked up to the rake. And with the rake put on, we should be able to go through this field at record speeds and get it all raked up into nice rows. And then we should be able to go through, once we're done, and get it all put into square bales. And I think what we'll do is we'll go through and take it all back to the main farm, put it inside the barn for later storage so that way we can use it for whenever we need to get the cattle fed. Okay, so we just ran into a little bit of a problem. Actually, hold on, let me get the PTO shut off for the baler. Alright, and that problem is that we just snapped the axle on our hay wagon. I don't even know if I can get down low enough to see where it broke at on the trailer or on the wagon, but it does look like that the tire came completely disconnected from the axle. So much for the Bluetooth hitch pin and this trailer being completely awesome and like a great trailer. So I am going to have to get this trailer disconnected. We do need to finish out getting the rest of these bales done. I might just hook the Dodge up to this trailer just so that way we're able to pull it out of the field, because I don't think I can get it to move with just the tractor alone. Let's try real quick. Alright, let's see. I'm giving it all she's got and it's not moving. The axle is just dragging right into the ground. I mean, we are moving like an inch every time, but it's just not going anywhere. Well, with the power of brute force from the Dodge, we were able to successfully get all the rest of the bales picked up. So we just pulled the cart around, or pulled the wagon around until we got all the bales picked up. But we successfully got the wagon inside the barn. All the hay is somehow staying on the wagon without falling off, but we do have the wagon and the bales out of the weather, so whenever it decides to rain, we don't have to worry about ruined bales. But for right now, we are going to get everything transported back to the main farm. Probably going to get the haybine attached onto the gooseneck trailer here, since there is a hitch point, and I know that I do have a safety pin that will fit in here on the haybine. And then I'll probably just leave the tractor here, the International 886, and park it inside my clothes shed, because I don't have any use for it over the wintertime except for getting snow. But if it comes down to it, I'll just probably make the drive over now that we have a nice Dodge pickup. Man, what a long and annoying day that was. Holy crap. I think after today, I need to head into town and I need to go to church. This was a pretty long, stressful day. I either need to go to church or I need to go hit up the local bar, but we'll see what's open. That being said, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe.